van der Heijde. Today we have wonderful guest, the principal harpist of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra from Amsterdam. And I'm so glad that she found time also for us today to make the live streaming interview. And I'm welcoming everyone to be with us today and to enjoy all the experiences and all the memories which Petra is going to share with us. She was the third one in the row already, performer of the Focus on Youth at the third World Harp Congress in Vienna in 1987. And today we are on the third interview of the first worldwide online harp congress, which I have created. And I'm so glad that most of you really already wrote me about how you enjoy it, and that makes me very happy. So welcome, Petra, and I'm so glad that you are with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a lovely idea, really, truly lovely idea. And at first I was very frightened to see the video back, but I think it was okay for a 16-year-old.
You were absolutely marvelous, and because I wanted to avoid that it will come too late. So who would be interested, but you should not miss now the interview, but who would be interested, the concert is already now posted on the YouTube, the channel, the Harp channel already. So who wants to listen during the interview, you are welcome to already open also the YouTube, the channel, and you can listen to the performance of Petra already there. And I would like to ask you, Petra, if you have any memories from that, personal memories from this your performance there.
Oh, the funny thing was that I completely forgot that I had some issues with my chair. So it was very funny to see how actually professionally, in a professional way, I solved the problem, and that Susan MacDonald apologized for the inconvenience, and that melt away all my nerves, because I was very excited. And I mean, I was 16-year-old. It was my first international performance. I remember that we have been camping on the campground in Vienna, no harp to practice, and my parents, like always, did not want to change the holiday plans. So we went to Hungary that year, and through a good friend in Budapest, I had the harp to keep playing a little bit, because otherwise I would not have been playing for 2 or 3 weeks before entering the Congress, which was more frightening than even the playing by itself. And so it was a great experience, and something never to forget. It was really nice.
I really have the same experience as well, and we kept being in touch afterwards. You came also to Prague 1 year after with your parents, and you were living in our flat, and I really remember all of that. And I just want to apologize to all the people who are going to listen now to the performance, because I have cut this kind of beautiful experience with the chair from the video. I just sent it to you as a memory, but I just didn't want to make the people to feeling like that I'm making fun out of someone. So I just didn't want to. So I put it out.
It's fine, because it took pretty long until we fixed the chair.
It was so many people were trying to fix it, even as you said, Miss MacDonald was there involved. So it was really nice to see that, but of course I just didn't want to put someone in the bed.
She was so beautiful and so young at that time, huh? It was amazing to see.
She's still the same, but it was so wonderful to see her already.
Hi, Susan, just in case that you're watching. Really nice.
Everyone who is with us today, and I hope that we will get also some questions, some comments, because it's such an opportunity to have the answers right away now with the guest we have today, Petra van der Heijde, the Royal Harpist. I mean, the harpist of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra in Amsterdam. Petra, what is now the issue in Holland? How does it look like there now during these days?
Well, in Holland, all the events where more than 3 people in one room are just forbidden, and this will last until the end of May. It might change. They might say by the end of May that we can be together with, I don't know, 10 or 20 people, but it's just practically forbidden to be in a room with more than 3 people. So we can play duets and trios, and that's it. And there are no performances, no audience. The orchestra is desperately looking for possibilities, maybe by the end of May, when it could be allowed again to be together, but at a 1.5 meter distance, we have no clue how an orchestra should work. We have no obligations of wearing masks at this time, but it's still the 1.5 meter is just obliged, and we have to stay at home as much as possible. But in Holland, the shops are open. We can buy some things, but and you usually be the only one in every shop, so that makes life easy. But it's crazy, and the lockdown started at March 12th and lasts until today, and it's hard to keep working, to keep playing, to keep practicing for
no sure. Yeah,
well,
no,
we shouldn't say for nothing, but you know how it feels.
There's no target. Yeah,
it's easier practicing when you have a goal, and I've never been that disciplined just to practice without any goal. Maybe you do, but no, I never did. So it's frightening, and it's very difficult time.
But
we are streaming twice a week. We have beautiful concerts in the past. We're now streaming 2 times a week, and I'm looking to my own orchestra and enjoying music at least. But it's different.
And you mean you are streaming with the orchestra? You meet with the orchestra and you play with the orchestra streaming?
No. There's been former recordings, and they're now sending. Maybe streaming is not the word, right? And they're now sending twice a week new videos, bringing them online, or I don't know. We did a national anthem last Monday, which was a public holiday, and everybody made his own video at home, and they made a compilation video and to send it all at the same point. But it's still a kind of sad feeling if you see your colleagues like this. I miss them very much.
I can imagine, absolutely. But you can teach, because you are also famous teacher. So I'm sure that you have opportunities to teach, at least to have a contact with your students, as all of us who are teaching has the only opportunity now to be online and to use the technology through Skype or any of the other technology possibilities, right?
Well, I find online teaching very difficult because the thing is, I'm not at home now. I'm at the countryside in a kind of vacation house where I do have a harp, but a very bad internet connection. That's why I'm at a friend's place now, to have a better connection. And as soon as you receive the sound, a tiny bit later, then you see the hands moving. It's already so hard to judge whether it's a technical problem or it's sound-wise or whatever. So it's I don't like the video teaching. It's better than nothing, but no, it doesn't really work very well for me. But since I'm practically, especially an audition trainer, there are no auditions right now, so everything is a bit more quiet than it used to be.
You should tell us a little bit more about this audition trainer, because I know that you have some kind of master classes, or you take cheers to everyone also. I'm driving afterwards, so I can't unfortunately drink with you. But tell me something about this, because you do it like regularly, and that you have some classes to invite the students, because it's fantastic that you can do these trainings for the auditions, for the harpist who wants to make the audition.
Well, I discovered by the time that after all those years, I did 15 auditions in my life, and many of them weren't very successful. But by learning, by doing, by the time I discovered that I learned by every next audition, I learned some essential things. And I told myself afterwards, if I would have known all these things before, I might have done it better in an earlier stage. So this is how I developed a kind of very fast, high-speed training of 3 days, because you have to brainwash your head. It is auditioning is much more about expectations and how to deal with the expectations than just playing the notes and just playing the music. And this is, for me, personal, the biggest challenge to bring people in a very short moment into another mindset. And I was told that I can change lives in 3 days. And then it takes, and then it's learning by doing. Then it needs to be practiced. It needs to be it needs to get into your system. It's not just a bit of awareness. It's nothing spiritually. I'm a very practical person, and I train people in a practical way. And this is my biggest passion. And I love to share my experience in the orchestra, in the combination of preparing people for auditions. Yeah, so the combination is wonderful.
I bet really that you have many, of course, experience as the harpist of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra, and I think that really, as there is many, thanks God, we have many now auditions for the harpists all over the world, so that it's really important this discipline which we were talking about, so that the people are still preparing, even there is maybe no audition at the moment, but they are still prepared right away to be able to get into the audition, to be prepared, that they don't need to learn it, because mostly in the auditions there are usually the programs the same, or just add some new piece, but not really every program is totally different. So I would really, do you have any book which you have created of the orchestra parts by yourself?
No, actually, I'm writing a book. About life in the orchestra, and half of the book will be about auditioning and expectations and dealing with stress and all that, those kind of modern issues. But and I have time now to write, so that's the good thing. I think this is a very new challenge in this time of a crisis. It is very hard to practice without a goal. But when you know that there will be any kind of audition coming, even in half a year, I would be happy to have more time than normally to practice all the stuff. By the time, the older I get, the better I understand that it is also very much a matter of routine. You, by a certain point, you know the pieces so incredibly well that you will automatically feel better during audition. And so if you have half a year to practice La Forza del Destino, please do, and don't wait until 1 month before the audition. It's a great exercise if you are a beginner student. Do your Nutcracker cadenza every single day to warm up. And I do it when the holidays are over, and I first do the Nutcracker to see how my basic technique is running. And so and if you feel so comfortable with these pieces, they're just not so difficult anymore. And by the time that an audition comes up, it's like, okay, I know the stuff. And this is maybe one of the most important things. After 15 auditions, I felt like, okay, well, nothing can go wrong. I've been doing this so many times. And then you get, of course, the expectations and the situation that you have to deal with. But that's then another chapter.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because so many orchestra parts are actually like technically quite difficult. And for example, Valkyrie, if the students will play it as etude every day, they will just feel warm up, but they will learn it by itself. And then the pedals and all this stuff, which are very difficult at that moment, will not feel so difficult, because they will get used to it and they will just play it every day. So it will be a just easy piece, you know.
Let me give you a famous example. People find Stravinsky Symphony in 3 movements a difficult piece. And then I say, look guys, you play an Hindemith sonata, which is for me kind of the same kind of approach. You've been practicing the Hindemith sonata for how many hours? How many hours, how many weeks, how many months? And you're telling me that the Stravinsky Symphony is a difficult piece. Excuse me, you've just not spent enough hours on this piece. If you would spend that many hours on Stravinsky Symphony, which is so much shorter than an Hindemith sonata, and you can play Hindemith well, then
I just want to say, really, all the students who are listening, listen carefully, all these experiences and these knowledges, because this is really know-how which you will only, it will enrich your life, and you will not spend so much time of learning if you will know it in advance, all these knowledges. So I thank you very much, Petra.
And teaching, it makes the teaching also easier if you keep saying, well, you did not spend enough hours on that piece. Sorry.
Absolutely true. And Petra, to come back for the World Harp Congress in Vienna, do you have any memories of any concert besides, of course, yours performance? Do you remember what kind of, did you choose your harp for your performance there, or have you just gone to the stage?
Yes, I did. There was a beautiful line in Healy, that's all I remember. Now, what I mostly remember from the Harp Congress in Vienna, I was not aware at all that Via Berghardt was such an institution and such a famous person. Mm-hmm. And there was one specific photo that I recently got from somebody, that I was sitting 2 chairs away of her. And I remember one of the very first concerts that the whole audience was standing up for her when she entered the room, and it was like she's the Pope of the harp world. And this was an incredible experience. She was very friendly, and it was one of the first moments that we have ever met. And we met maybe a year later for another contest in Holland, and I've not met her I'm just a bit too young to have had lessons with her, but I'm basically the next generation of her big how do you say, experience, knowledge. It's all in Holland, it's all the same family. So that was a very very special memory. And another very special memory is that I was too young to attend such a huge congress, and I went to lectures and I fell asleep during lectures because it was just too much to get into my mind. But I have been absorbing everything on this congress 7 days. It was really, really, really nice. So I went also to Paris 2 years later. Mm-hmm. And in Paris, maybe some of you remember that I was opening concert with the 42 harps. Mm-hmm. So was 28 harps. 28 harps. And I was one of the 28 harps also in Paris playing, which was also a great experience. But that was the last one. And of course, in 2008, I was in the committee by myself, which is another kind of, in Amsterdam, which is another kind of experience. Also really nice to have it in my pocket.
So you have it also from the other side, the view,
yes,
of the organization and of everything. So, but in Vienna, it was your first time, and in Paris, it was, as a performer, it was only 2 times.
Yes, yes.
And in Paris, did you perform also at the Focus on Youth, or there you were only at this group of harpists?
Only the group of harpists, and but I learned a little bit from this experience to be on vacation and performing, which doesn't go very well together. And also in Paris, I was on the campground with my parents. I was still very young. I was 19 in Paris, and camping and playing harp doesn't go together.
That's very true. It doesn't fit very well together. But did you find a difference between these 2 congresses, or even during the period from Paris to Amsterdam? Because it has been, Paris was in 1990 and Amsterdam was in 2006. So it's 8. Sorry, it's 8. So it is quite a long time. It's 18 years between. So did you see any difference between how it developed, this organization, or do you feel that it's almost the same?
Well, I think the idea is still the same. It's just about bringing people together and being absorbed by harp playing. And it's, if you play harp, it's really nice. And other people sometimes wonder what we do all week long, right? But no, I was so young also in Paris. I was 19. I was not that much aware of the value in total, and that came in 2008, because the moment that you organize, you think so much further. But I was in charge of the Focus on Youth in 2008, and the only thing I discovered is that the board of directors did not change any rules, did not change any ideas of the focus on youth, and to my opinion, sorry guys, the age could be a bit lower now, because we were still very young when we were 24 in 1987, but the 24 now are the 14-year-old nowadays. So the focus on youth for me could be a bit younger than it is today, but as long as you see it as a platform where you can play and you can perform, it's all fine.
Mm-hmm. It's true that the level of the playing it's really very, very high, and
Increased.
You can see really fantastic players already when they are 12 years old these days, which was absolutely unique in the past when we were 16 years old. So it was very unique to really see someone who were playing.
Were you also 16 in 1987?
Yes, I was.
So we are the same age.
Absolutely, yeah. So
so we were pretty much the youngest in Vienna, and that's nothing special anymore. I mean, but in '87 it was special to be 16 and performing like this.
That's probably true, yeah. But now it's really nothing special to be 16 and play really well. So it's really the level of it's much higher, and it's much better. So which is great, of course.
So we are normal, and the young people now are special. You see?
No, I think that we are very happy that the young generation grown so much up, because it's also of how everybody is now developing, and that actually our generation it's bringing what the older generation given to us. We are just forwarding now to the younger generation, which is still step by step better and better. And I'm sure that another generation will be again even better, because they will again take something more from the younger generation. So I think
if I have the opportunity to give a warning also to the young people who are watching this, I see very much more and more, maybe it's going to change by this crisis where we are all in now. People are easily city hopping for a couple of years. They're going to study 2 years there and then another 2 years there. And I believe very strongly in staying with one good teacher, of course, for a bit of a longer period. But it seems that everybody wants to have everything in a too short time, because so many things that I learned from my teachers came after all those years, not within 2 years. So that's what I worry a little bit nowadays.
These opportunities are fantastic for the students, but true, when the student has to grow still, it's not done student. It's really difficult when they are jumping, like you say, because every teacher, of course, gives something new. But if they change too much, it can be only destroying the growing, because they are still staying at one point and they are just trying to fix what that teacher says, and then they are going another place and again fixing, and so they are still based on one place and not growing. I think that really if they are not ready yet, they are not really fixed in the good level already, then it is really better to stay with one who they are really satisfied with and who can really teach them well and give them something to then from that step to grow. Then it's really much more developing. I think that we have there one message. Thank you very much from Ukraine. Many greetings to you as well. And
I don't see a message.
You don't see any messages there?
No, you don't see any messages. But maybe I have to. Do I have to push the chat? Oh no.
Maybe, yes. Maybe if you
live comments.
Yes. Maybe if you have to push, then you can see that. Yes, so please, really, I once more welcome everybody to write questions if you have any. We will be very happy. I mean, we have a guest who will be very happy to answer anything. We have another, it's not much teacher. It's not very good. Too many teachers. Well, it's always very easy to find good teachers if you are searching for one, and of course it's every person needs someone else. So I think that it's very important to first try few of them for one lesson, and then to try really who fit to the student as the best one.
Who is Alla Lemishenko? Is that
hello, Anna. We love you too.
Anna Verkolancheva. Hi Anna.
Greetings to Vienna.
I really don't see what I do wrong. There's a chat, but then I can't see myself anymore. Private chats. Big hello from Ukraine. Hello. Too much teacher is not very good. Yeah, I agree to all of you. No, but I would like to see Jana, and I can't see here. Okay. But this is just a comment. It's not a question. So what should I say?
No, it's really nice. Also, Adina, hello, Adina. We have really wonderful people to listen to us, and I'm very glad because we will see most of you also online, and we will have also interviews with most of you. So I'm very, very happy that you can be with us. And we have today, for those who came later, we have today the principal harpist of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra, Petra van der Heijde, who was playing, as we can see also on the screen, the Focus on News is the third one already in the row. We have for the interview here who was performing at the Focus on News in Vienna in 1987. Petra was at that time, she was 16 years old. So just tell me, and we already, who were listening at the YouTube, your performance, which is already there, they know what you did, what you have played. But can you just tell what did you choose for that performance?
Well, what was a bit shocking for me is that I had to send an audio recording. Those days it was just audio, and my music teacher in high school made me this pretty professional recording. Now I understand that for a 16-year-old I did it in such a professional way, because I knew that it would be a kind of one challenge. Once of a lifetime challenge to send my recording. So he made a very, very nice recording, but the committee chose the pieces that I had to play. And I was first shocked because this Dussek sonatine that I had to play, I don't know, a year later, it was so easy for me to play. That this was a pretty interesting experience. And my teacher told me that, no, you don't complain. A year later, you have to do same level, because there was so much time in advance to make the recording and to send it to the committee and then to be invited and blah, blah, blah. So it was a very good experience to have to play it again a year later. And I found it already too easy, because it is 16-year-old, you grow incredibly within 1 year. And then yes, it had to be by memory, and the classical pieces by memory I did not find that easy. And so that was actually at the end the bigger challenge than the piece by Lex van Delden, which is a Dutch composer. I played in the beginning, which was just fine to play, but the level was almost too easy for me, because I was just a year older and further with all my techniques. And but I for a certain point I was disappointed that I could not play a bigger piece, but at the end it was a great choice. Thank you, Suzanne.
But you have played also the contemporary piece by the Holland composer, because we were supposed, I think that some of them, me too, I also played one contemporary piece of the Czech composer, so it was probably required to play also one piece of the composition from the country.
No, I don't think so. I just remember that it had to be different styles of music.
I see.
And it's probably because, as I know from 2008, that you want to have the flexibility to make a full program with different styles of music, and not everybody playing the same romantic kind of pieces. So, and probably they were totally happy to have some of the original pieces from certain countries. And now I understand the philosophy behind that choice. And because the last piece I played was the Minstrel's Adieu to His Native Land by John Thomas. Yeah, I mean, now I understand that that's not the most interesting piece of music if you start to organize a World Harp Congress.
Absolutely agree, but it's really nice. I think that it's a fantastic also opportunity for the young people, as you were telling before, that in this pandemic situation we have no goals to go, but I think that for the young people if they have really, for example, this kind of goal that they know that they might be able to play at the Focus on Youth on the World Harp Congress somewhere, that they have some kind of really target which they can prepare, and it made them only feeling they, even in this time, they have the right to really practice and to get better, to be invited, because it's not something very easy to be invited for this Focus on Youth, right?
No, and a part of the challenge is that you, I mean, it's not a contest, but you are judged, not only by the small committee, but by hundreds of harpists. That's a pretty frightening idea. So I think no matter, right, no matter at what age, I mean, when you're young, I should say there's nothing there's not a name you can lose. We have a name to lose, right, Jana, you and me? So we can't go there and play horribly. So we have to think carefully what we do. But still, when you're young and judged by hundreds of harpists, it's a frightening idea. It's a great challenge for everybody.
That's really something. This is something exactly what you said. They are not having anything to lose, but they can only grow, and that can really force them to make the performance the best they can do. So that is something what is really very fantastic for the young generation, and I think that really. Now these opportunities are all over, because at that time also, when we were students and when we were this age, there were not so many competitions either. There were only 3 competitions in the whole world, maybe 2, Israel and USA, but there was not too many of them. It was nothing more to choose from. So now they have so many opportunities, and that's really something what put them much more forward, I think.
Yeah, and what I probably learned in 1987 at age 16 is, okay, I can perform in an international environment, so I could also do a competition, and international competition is a much bigger thing, which requires a completely other preparation of sometimes a full year. But it gave me the self-confidence. So yeah, I can do it. And I had a teacher who always supported me on these kind of items. So that was a great lesson, great experience.
Have you competed? In which competition have you afterwards competed?
I have only been at the Bloomington competition in, let me think, I think it was 1992, if I'm correct. But I was thrown out after the first stage, and then I went on vacation in the USA. So
okay.
That was my experience.
I see. But it's really always a great experience, I bet.
Yes.
It's nice to go. Yeah. So Petra, how long do you think that this lockdown will be in Holland now?
Well, the only thing we know is that we don't know. Things are changing step by step by step. Nobody knows. It's very hard to imagine that we will ever be in our beautiful concert hall, the Concertgebouw, with 2,000 seats. They are now considering that we will be playing downstairs in the hall without all the chairs, and that the audience can be upstairs, two together, then a little table, and then some more people, and then there can be 300 instead of 2,000. I think I mean, we're just following the rules of the government. As soon as we are allowed to be with, let's say, maximum of 100 people in a room, the orchestra will get together. And we'll start live streamings and stuff and things, at least to be together and to play, because this is what we miss desperately, and it probably needs time until September, until we will slowly, step by step, get back to kind of normal. What is normal? I mean, can you imagine to be in public transport with all those people? I mean, we all can't imagine to work like this, live like this. Again.
It's really hard, and I bet that also, of course, your orchestra also lost a lot of concerts and maybe even tours, as the Czech Philharmonic also had in plan so many tours and concerts and festivals, and everything has been either postponed or either totally cancelled.
we should have started a great Mahler festival in the Concertgebouw next week. Again, the Mahler Festival 2020, with all kind of foreign orchestra. I mean, it's heartbreaking. And in the meantime, this time of the year is the same in every country, I think, where you are selling the abonnements for the next season. I mean, it's. I feel for the first time in my life that this is also a too big issue to worry so much. It's just too big, and I'm happy that I'm not the one in charge who has to make rules and to decide things. It's just too complicated.
True is that this issue is so difficult, as we were talking about, that there is no security at all at the moment, because we never know what will happen, and we only have to hope that positively that everything will be better. But we can also expect that it might be still coming back, and it might be worse, but we hope that it will not come back and that everything will start, as you said, at least the orchestras in September. But do you have also any plan for summer as a solo or as a teaching, or do you have any plans which you think that will happen?
No, it's in our country. We were told that there's just no traveling for the coming month. We may travel within the country, but Holland is very small. This is what has changed quickly, I think, worldwide, in our heads, in our minds, that you cannot make plans. There are no festivals. You cannot imagine to be. I mean, it's just not allowed to be with more than 3 people in one room. This is the law now in Holland, until they let things go, and they might extend until, I don't know, first 10 people, then 20 people. But this is why you can't make any plans. This is why I have no plans at all for the coming period, which is on a very short term. It's okay, but for a bit of a longer period, it's frustrating.
Of course.
And but I worry not so much about not making plans and not planning concerts. I worry so much about all my colleagues who have no jobs and no permanent income, and there's just nothing to do. I worry very much about this, and of course I get messages from the United States and from all. I mean, the past weeks I discovered a habit to call one colleague somewhere abroad to hear how they deal with the situation. That's exactly what we're doing now online. But it's everywhere the same, and the freelancers have the hardest jobs right now.
It's what is very special in this case, that really the whole world is at the same point. We have all the same situation. We are going all through the same situation, and that's very unique. But we all understand each other. That's very, very special in this case. And just to come back for a little bit to our work, you know what, I would like that the people will know a little bit more about your background. Did you come from the family of musicians, or how did you even start the harp? And who was your first teacher, and who was your imagination, like the idol, and who actually brought you to play the harp?
Well, when I was 6 years old, I heard a chamber concert with Edward Witzenberg. And it was a duo harp concert. So what is more beautiful than one harp? It's 2 harps, right? And I was 6 years old, and that was the moment that it did click, and I told my parents, this is what I want. They were amateur musicians. The good example of having no professionals in your family but amateur musicians is that they love playing so much that they never stopped playing. So I learned from itself that making music is having fun. And so, but the harp was not in their mind. So they told me, no, you're far too young, and choose something else, but not harp. So they let me wait a couple of years, and I started finally when I was 10. And I had the big luck that I got Erika Waardenburg as my teacher when I was 12. And I've been studying with her for 10 years, and she's such a wonderful teacher. And so, yes, I was pretty much lucky just to be in very good hands. because of course this is a kind of luck. If you have a good teacher, you grow very well. And if you have not such a good teacher, okay, that's bad luck. And then, but Erika was a student of Edward Witzenberg, and Edward Witzenberg, of course, was a pupil of Via Berghout. And so that's why we are all kind of the same family. I still have notes where both Via Berghout and Edward Witzenberg handwritings are in the music. And Via Berghout is one of my predecessors in the orchestra. So I feel very much connected to all the whole Dutch harp family. And then I moved to Germany when I got to know Maria Graf. Went to study with her in 1993. And that was the moment that I moved to Germany, and I've been studying, and working there for another 10 years. And that very much changed my mind in a more international way, because the Germans think differently, and it is a great country in terms of the cultural life and establishment. I had my first job in Germany before I finally returned to Holland. And of course, getting this job in the Concertgebouw Orchestra was the most wonderful thing which happened in my life.
That's absolutely, I agree with you, because this, all what you say, I will just add very quickly to say to all the people who would like to listen to the concert of Edward Witzenberg, which was mentioned here. He's going to be performed on Tuesday, May 15th. At 2 o'clock. I mean, 2 o'clock, it's always plus minus, because I'm trying to post it as soon as possible.
Your time.
Yes, European time, of course. So you will hear him twice. This will be his whole concert. And this would be my question to you, because in Vienna, he was performing always on the old historic harp. He was very special for that, or he only at that congress he was particularly playing on this harp?
Edward Witzenberg is a very experienced player of old instruments. He worked a lot together with Nicolaas Hanoncourt. And so, yes, he is very, very experienced on old music. But he was also a very professional on all instruments. He was a great teacher. I must say I have not had any lessons with him personally, but I've been attending master classes and listening. And but I do remember that concert in Vienna, and he gave a lecture recital in Amsterdam in 2008. And so he's a wonderful player and storyteller about old music.
I really admired very much his playing, because of course on the old harps it's not the same playing as when you play on the classical harp, the big one, because the tension of the string is much softer, and it's not so, I mean, it's easier to play, but not so easy to play without noises. And he played really so wonderful on the old harp. It was not very light playing. He was really playing with a good sound, which was making different also colors and dynamically, which was very special, because in this case I know that it's not easy to make the dynamic changes on these harps, and he really did. So don't miss the concert on May 5th on Tuesday, because it's very special to hear him to play. And he will be, as I said, this is the first experience, and you will hear him even at one more concert. And Maria Graf, unfortunately, we don't have her too many on the performers. She was fantastic, and she is a fantastic harpist. But it's very pity that she was not attending the congresses too often, right?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, to my opinion, she is an amazing harpist, and she's a wonderful teacher as well. But by the time that I met her, she was more and more into the teaching thing, and now she's teaching in Berlin, and she has a wonderful class there. You should ask her personally why. I don't know. It's I can just say that moving to Hamburg to study with her was the best decision in my life, because we are very similar the way we think about music. We are extremely similar in terms of energy, dealing with stress, and now in the way of teach. The people who know us both, they say that you have the same kind of approach. in terms of music. So she was the dot on the I in my professional career. And I had one more teacher who was the principal harpist in Frankfurt. And her name was Charlotte Kassedan, not a very famous name, but she was my audition trainer. And she truly changed my life because she prepared me for the most important auditions. And she is still my inspiring person for audition trainings. I told her several times that she has no clue why, but yeah, she changed my life.
And that's really fantastic when you see how every teacher put you in the different positions, different level, and every teacher gave you something new and something what enrich your professional life. And Erika, of course, is one of the main teacher ever. So it's fantastic that you also went through her hands. So there is no doubt about her qualities as a teacher as well. So that's fantastic. I just want to very quickly say Stefanie Zimmer, who we were having the interview, the first interview, she's with us here. She greets us as well. You were mentioning that you know each other well.
Very well, yes.
You were studying together, or you were?
No. I've been spending 10 years in Germany, and in 2000, I made a huge interview to all German harpists in the whole country to find out about the payment in the orchestra. So this is the moment that I got in touch with all the German harpists. And I made so many friends there. And so I still very much connected to Germany. So I just met Steffi, I don't know, a month ago, or maybe occasionally I was in Germany and we met, and she's lovely. So it's really nice.
She's a very, very lovely person. And I'm really glad that we have some kind of family, you know, the harpists are really some kind of very close family, even it's not few of us, it's a lot of us, but we still feel a little bit closer because we have some kind of community, we keep together, we have this congresses, which is actually everything now about in this memories of the Third World Harp Congress in Vienna, and where we met 33 years ago for the first time, and we had the opportunity to keep in contact and to be in touch all the time, like to know about each other and to meet all over the world when we met for the last time in Brussels when your orchestra was performing there. So I remember it's not too long, it's 1 year or 1.5 years ago, or maybe 2 years.
And then in Prague, when we were in Prague, which is long. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. It's wonderful that we have this kind of opportunities, many harpists like that, to meet and to keep in contact, even all over the time it's flying, and that we can make this meetings.
Possible.
And now,
yes,
at least through the technology and through the Skype and through these all people who are with us today. And I will just probably take the glasses because I really, from so far, I don't see anymore. We're getting old. So
yeah, we get older, right?
Yeah. There is a message for you. It's in Dutch, but I can't read it. Probably it's wir waren erkennbare verhalen. And I don't know verhalen. I don't. It's from van der Berg.
This is my mother.
Oh, this is lovely.
Hi, Mama. Hello. My mother is my biggest fan. She's following me on Facebook. My mother is watching, and she says in Dutch, yeah, she recognizes all the stories because I was with them on the campground, and my father also still loves harp that much, and he knows, he still remembers everything, all kind of details that I forgot completely. So that was my mother writing, that she recognized all the stories.
So hello to your mother. It's lovely that she could have been with us, and I now see really clearly all the messages which are there, and I'm so thankful that you write. There is Veronika Lemeshenko from
Veronika. Hi, Veronika.
Yes, she's saying
very precious colleague.
Very right, and it's so bad for freelance harpists or musicians. Actually, it's absolutely true, and it's not easy. And as we don't know how long this time is going on, even we who has the job in the orchestra, we have no idea how long it can last and if we are safe, because this is also for the orchestras. It's not easy, and they cannot live without any earning money either. So it's not easy either for anybody. And we totally agree, but we just must hope that the situation will get better, and that at least we can find solutions, either to play the concerts online in small groups, or just to make something that will first please the people, and that we will still make our job, which we love as well.
Yeah.
So that's very true. But Petra, is there anything what you would like to share with the people still? Because it's so wonderful that we have time now to have you here, and that you can have the opportunity to talk.
Well, you know, I saw, I think yesterday or today, I saw a beautiful little recording of 72 harpists playing all around the world all together. And I saw many Italians and many Slovenians and French, so from everywhere, and all with their earphones and all playing together. But what I truly loved is that everybody is playing his own instrument, and there are no fights between Leiden Healy and Salvi and Kamak, and who cares? It's just everybody is playing from their own place and playing their own instrument. And so I got a little bit of goosebumps at that point, because I realized this is how you connect people. This is, of course, it's great to be at a Harp Congress, and I miss everybody and I miss my colleagues. I was planning to go to Cardiff and to see all my friends back. But the moment that you are all in your place, you have to stay at home. That truly connects, because we all feel the same, no matter who I talk to. And no matter what harp you play, no matter what kind of school you come from, nobody feels better than the other. And this is what I truly like. And I truly hope that this is going to change a little bit in our minds for the future. But
we hope. I think it can change the view of us very much. I think that this can help, and to find the priorities of life as well, and of thoughts, and of the view of what we are like. And I just now see there is a question from Claudien de Lange Bogarin. I'm sorry if I pronounce wrongly your name, but there is written, greetings. I have a question. How does a normal working day look for you?
I think I know her. She's living in Holland. Hoi Marlies. Good that you did it in English. And there are no normal working days in my orchestra, but kind of normal is we start the rehearsal at 9:30 in the morning. We finish at 1 o'clock, and we have one kind of bigger break in between, and in the afternoon we prepare our own parts for the next week, because during the week we have concerts on Wednesday and Thursday, sometimes Thursday and Friday standard, and sometimes also Wednesday and Sunday afternoon. But this changes every week, depends on the abonnements that we are having. So minimum of 2, maximum of 4 concerts, and then the moment that we go on tour, this is just the preparation. We try the concert once or twice in Amsterdam, and then we go on tour. And then again, nothing is normal. Traveling and playing, which you cannot imagine anymore, that you jump into an airplane for one concert. It's just an incredible idea that you live like this. So don't ask me how it will be in the shorter future. So this is a kind of normal schedule: rehearsing in the morning, free in the afternoon, but preparing your stuff for the week after, because the program is changing every single week.
And you have family?
Bye, Marlies.
You have family, you have children as well?
No, nothing.
Okay, so you can really prepare for your stuff of the professional way all the afternoon, in case, of course, if you have to.
Yeah, but this is hard enough, because if you have no automatic kind of schedule in your daily life, you have to find the discipline to do it all by yourself. And this is what I find most difficult in these times of crisis. I have no concerts coming up. One thing is for sure, when the orchestra restarts, we will not be playing everything which was scheduled. We'll playing other stuff, smaller ensembles, more chamber music, or smaller like chamber orchestra pieces. I don't know. And so everything was on my stand to be prepared. We would have been playing at Dvorak Rusalka in May and in June, and it's not going to happen. So I can put all that music away. So to practice, not to know what to practice for, is a true challenge. I still not learned how it works.
I feel absolutely the same, because there are concerts which you only learn the program because of that concert. But if you are not sure if the concert is happening, you don't know if you should spend time on that program, if you should really learn it, because you know that there is no other concert with that program anymore. So it's the same. So I absolutely agree with you with this kind of insecurity, what's coming up, because then it can happen that they will say, yes, the concert finally is going on, but you did not know if you should prepare it. So it is something what is really not pleasant for any of us, and we know that. There is one message, Petra. There is one message for you from Jacqueline de Valk, and it's in Dutch. If you can read it, it will be wonderful, because I don't want to read it wrongly. So.
Jacqueline. Oh, what did she say? Oh, that's a lovely niece of mine. My whole family is watching. It's really nice. She just said it's just wonderful to hear the other side of the story. They know me. I mean, I'm her niece, and some people think in a pretty romantic way, as you know, about harp playing, and forget that this is also a job, and hardworking, and being disciplined, and doing what is asked from your employer. So I'm waiting for any kind of tasks that my employer will give me for the month of June. This is what I'm doing right now, and I try to keep my fingers running a bit. That's what I do. In the meantime, I walk in the forest and I work in the garden, and
actually you can
staying healthy.
Yeah, indeed, that's the main thing. And if there is opportunity to take rest and to have really free time, which actually we need also to restart what's coming up in the next months, we hope that we will start, but sometimes the rest, it's needed as well, and it's very important. So you have the importance now to rest, which is also great for you. So it's really fantastic. Yeah. And you moved already in March over there for the forest house, right?
Well, this house is a temporary house, and I moved there already in August, but I renovated a little bit, and I moved in January, and then suddenly we got all stuck into the reality in March, and so I'm now enjoying the house. And my house in Amsterdam, I gave it. I made it possible for a person I know. Her husband is in the hospital, and every guest house was closed because of the coronavirus. So she is occupying my house in Amsterdam now. And so try to help also other people, and I enjoy staying in the forest and make my daily walks and keep healthy, because it's, I think, the best you can do. Staying mentally healthy is the biggest challenge, I would say.
Absolutely. We have also the message from Nicoletta, who was with us yesterday. So hello, Nicoletta.
Yeah. Hi. We also met. I remember very well in 1987.
It's all our generation which comes together again, and it's really lovely. So Petra, I just want to ask you one more question about the Congress in Vienna. We are now talking about Vienna. Is there any other concert which you remember? Because this was also my question to Nicoletta yesterday, if she remembers any of the other concerts which she attended during that Congress.
I remember, but I also remembered because I saw the video of Marisa Robles. That one I remember. I don't remember all the details, but I remember that I attended all the modern music concerts, because I was very interested in how is it going to develop that I remember, and I found it pretty brave at age 16 that I made my notes and I wrote down which modern pieces I liked and which I did not like so much. I remember Josef Molnar very much. I remember a concert of Chantal Mathieu, which was impressive for me. And so this is, kind of, and the famous lecture recitals where I fell asleep. So.
But everything what you have mentioned, we will have the opportunity to hear. So everybody will be able to enjoy this experience which you are talking now, which you remember it. It's in your memory until these days after 33 years, which is really incredible. And I believe that all these impressions which you had will have all the people who will have the chance to listen and to follow the Harp channel, not only on Facebook, but on Instagram, but also on the YouTube, where you can see also this interview backwards. I mean, not backwards, but from the beginning again, so that you can see it from the archive again. So
nice.
If you have missed it, and I'm so thankful, Petra, that you made time for us today, that you were with us. I cheer you as well. I really can't now because I'm driving, but I really wish you all my best. I wish that we can come back to the work soon, that we can please the people by the beautiful music, that we can meet again personally anywhere in the world. And if you plan to come to Cardiff next year, we will certainly meet there, if not earlier. And I wish you really the health, and that everything what you do makes you happy, and that you make the people happy, as we all are trying to. And I hope that this pandemic situation will only make us closer, and we will keep all together in contact. So
I truly hope the same, Jana.
I wish you, thank you very much. I wish you all my best, and I'm very much looking forward now to your performance. I'm sure that everybody is looking forward, and you will be performing at the same. I have put the program together with Jang Kwak from Korea, so you will hear also her. You were both at the Focus on News performing at that day, so you both will have this evening together, and I wish you really all my best, and I really hope that we will see each other very soon.
Thank you very much, Jana. It was lovely to talk to you.
I was very happy to see you and talk to you as well, and we will keep in contact. And I wish very much all the best, and I wish everybody wonderful evening with this music with Petra. You can look that interview again from the beginning at the YouTube, or even at the Facebook, and also on Instagram, everywhere on the Harp channel. And I will now post this concert which we are talking about, Petra, when she was 16 years old, and she was performing at the Focus on News at the Vienna Third World Harp Congress. And I wish that we will see tomorrow again at 5 o'clock the European time. We will have the guest Ian Jones from London, who was not performing at the Focus on News, even he was very young at the time as well, but he had a wonderful recital, and we will of course have an opportunity to talk to him. So I wish that you are with us, and you will again prepare all the questions, and we will enjoy the evening with
I'll be there watching you.
We are looking forward really that we all can be together all the time. Take care again, and thank you very much for your time. Best wishes to everybody. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.